We're learning new information about the new COVID-19 variant sweeping across the United States. Not only is it more contagious, one group is getting hit harder than others. COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker takes a look at who's being impacted and how these cases could lead to a dangerous and deadly infection.
The new strain of COVID-19 moving across the United States is more contagious than the previous strains that we've seen. According to the National Institutes of Health, it's also infecting more children than previous strains, and that is leading to more cases of a potentially fatal condition called Miss-C. According to medical experts, the B.1.1.7 COVID variant is about 50% more contagious than earlier versions. It was first identified in the United Kingdom in September and is one of at least 17 different COVID-19 variants so far. But this one alters the coronavirus spike protein, which is used to infect your cells, and that makes it easier for cells to get infected. The first week it was identified, researchers say it accounted for about 8.6% of infections in the UK. Within 1 week, it was responsible for about 13% of all COVID-19 cases there, and right now it makes up about 70% of the UK cases. That includes rising case numbers among children. Experts believe the reason kids are more susceptible to this variant has to do with the body's ACE2 receptor, which is where the virus binds. Those receptors are different in children and adults. Now, even though this strain of COVID-19 is not more deadly, it is shifting the age distribution of infections. As more kids are infected with COVID-19, we're seeing an increase in the number of kids diagnosed with a related respiratory syndrome called Miss-C, or multisystem inflammatory syndrome. It is rare, but it's a serious condition that is linked to coronavirus infections. It often starts with a rash on the hands or feet, and it can cause glassiness and redness in the eyes, extremely high fever, and it can be fatal.
The question is it more widespread, or are people diagnosing it more frequently? I think it's probably a combination of both. It seems to involve their neurologic system, their GI system. They can get a rash, and some individuals have cardiac symptoms.
Now, it can take up to 4 weeks to show up after a COVID infection, but because many children don't experience symptoms when they do have COVID, you may not even see this condition coming. Miss-C typically affects people under 21, and doctors say it's caused by an overreaction to your body fighting the COVID-19 virus, leading to swelling in the organs. Now, experts say this condition is still extremely rare, but it is becoming a bit more prevalent now with the rise in cases across the country. If your child is diagnosed with COVID and is having any of these symptoms about 4 weeks after their COVID-19 diagnosis, you should seek medical help. Even if they haven't been diagnosed with COVID, they may still have had it and just not shown any symptoms. I'm COVID-19 specialist Amanda Decker reporting.